Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nato and the rock star, that is Samantha Perry, with you here as we kick off week 2 of the championship meet. We opened the curtain on Thanksgiving, had a lot of fun last week, and now we're kind of getting into it. Pegasus Preview Day is on the horizon, a lot to look forward to. Another beautiful day here at Gulfstream Park, too.
Couldn't ask for
you were
a more beautiful day.
Greeting fans and signing autographs before the
Piece of
show and
babies.
everything.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a fun day here. Good weekend of racing ahead of us, and of course the Rainbow Six today. We have a 10-race card today and tomorrow. Don't forget that now. 10-race card both days, and that means the Rainbow Six, which is growing rapidly, will be in race number 5 today, $125,000 in the estimated jackpot. We are front and center. Not that we would not be anyway, but we are front and center today, and we will blow by $1.25. I can tell you that right now. $80,000 already in the carryover. The pool should be very, very comfortable today, and looking forward to a solid card, and it's going to kick off in about 53 minutes. The early pick 5 in race number 1. A little bit of a scratch bug here, although I don't think the scratches were all that significant in race number 1. We'll take a look at my ticket. There were some late scratches right before we got on the air, so we'll give you those, and Pete's upstairs, of course, as well. You can see the single in race 2 and race number 3 down on the inside. I'm going to give my old buddy Warlord Cruzon one more chance. Get outside today, please. In race number 4, top pick is the 5, Tempo Ride. In race number 5, scratch into the 5, who will be a very short price, I would assume now, and that is the 5, Bedrock Birdie. The 4, Hub City is that late scratch. Just came in. We'll go over them as well. But let's get into the opener now. 7.5 on a firm turf course. The rails are out at 31 feet here. Take note of that. Scratch the 1, Better Than Better, and the 3 outside horses. Princess Claudia, the 8. Cue the music, the 9. Grade A, the 10 are out. Didn't really affect me any. Samantha, how about you? Top pick is on top. Abundant Love for you.
No, surprisingly, none of the
Okay.
scratches, at least in this race, affected me at all. But Abundant Love for me, just kind of a new shooter here in this field for Mike Trombetta. I love the fact that they're stretching this filly out to 2 turns today, too. The last couple races sprinting at Colonial were decent efforts, but they were just maybe like meddling 4th or 5th finishes.
like it.
So now I think on the stretch out should be pretty nice.
You know, it's cool, too, if you're not familiar with Horatio Caramano, solid rider at our sister track up in Maryland. They don't run today. Hey, come on down to South Florida and get on a live one for Trombo, this live oak homebred. I'm on the 7, and that is More for sure. Abreu, Irad, you're going to be a short number here. I get that, but this is a big, big drop in class from a special weight at Belmont at Aqueduct. Blinkers are going to go on, too.
Yeah, what a huge trainer change. I mean, this is so significant. I think that Fernando Abreu is going to move this filly up quite a bit today.
Yeah, and the fact that he says, hi, Brad, you want to ride here, I think is big, too.
Huge.
They're 36% together here at Gulfstream. That's 5 for 14. Overall, 29%. So point being, when Fernando's live, he's reaching for Irad.
Yeah.
That's what you get here today. Talk a little bit about the first, or Palmo, the homebred here. Jenna Antonucci debuting. We've got a drill to show as well.
Yeah, we do. I just wanted to show that this filly, you know, if you're going to play your supers, I think as far as first time out goes, maybe this horse isn't one to run to the windows on, but she's on the inside here, and she's definitely a turf filly here. And when you watch her, she tries really hard, which I like. Now, I'm not saying she's working with any great shakes by any means, but here on the inside, you can just see the way she kind of struggles to grab the dirt, but the way that she tries hard is going to be a big player here as far as making your debut here on the grass.
Yeah, the barn's got some live bullets, I think, this weekend as well. Nice firster that we'll see on Saturday, too. Quickly, a stat on the 3, and that is La Cantera. This is Safi off the claim, and we're going to stretch out here. It's not a big sample. It's 10%. I think I snuck an extra 1 in there. 1 for 10, 10%. Not poor ROI. Not good, not bad. It's a small sample, but we'll see about this one. I moved this horse up with the scratch, kind of willing to maybe at least play against a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the stretch out on the grass will be okay, though.
Yeah. Early pick 4 in race number 2. We'll go 6.5 on a fast main track. This is Coldstream. We'll show you Coldstream in a second, I promise you. $25,000 maiden claimers here, 3-year-olds and up. Again, 6.5 furlongs on a fast main track. Scratch the 5. smoking it up, and the 6 Sue is out of this race. We'll take a look at Samantha's early pick 4 ticket. Don't forget the TT pick 3 comes back tomorrow.
This is a $6 play. Kind of was hit a little bit with the scratches that we got. Race number 3, I am spreading. I have the 2 Dr. Perry on top. Race number 4, there's the single of the 6 Skull Honor. Always was a single for me. And now with the scratch of Hub City out, I've got Bedrock Birdie singled. That horse looks like the one. A $6 play for me.
Yeah, short price coming on Bedrock Birdie with the scratch there. Let's go back now to the opening leg here. Huge favorite in the 3, Coldstream. I wasn't really looking to beat him, but let's take a look. Actually, let's talk about, well, Ben's Hero had a big number for you.
This is my
here.
long shot, but unfortunately, it won't even get that now. Ben's Hero for me, you look at the races on the dirt now, that was back in 2023. They were, I think, arguably the best efforts this horse has ever had. And now we're going to get him back on it again here today. I know that was at Delaware. That's a different type of track, different competition, but still, I think in a field like this where I didn't really trust anybody and Coldstream has some antics, maybe this is a horse that could get a piece.
Yeah, it's not impossible. The scratch of Sue is a big one. You lose a lot of value. You probably get cut in half. Let's take a look at Coldstream. I actually did think this was a pretty good effort. Now, I don't know why he's going from 50 to a quarter. That's not ideal. Maybe it's just, hey, you want to take him, we'll win and move on. But I thought he ran pretty well when you look at the flow of this race, because he was nagged early on, and the horses that were nagging him early on were last and second to last.
Well, I'm kind of shocked he ran this well, because pre-race he dropped Edgar Zayas, and then he ran off for about 2 furlongs. I was kind of shocked. The horse was fine. He was completely fine. He just wanted to do a bigger warm-up than I guess was allowed of him, and they loaded him back in the gate, and he ran like that, like his pants were on fire. So we'll see. He's got to be on better behavior.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And you know, maybe Safi reads the I say the form and conditions, yes, but reads the room better than anybody too. And you know, he says maybe he's not going to make a dent for 50 this winter. We'll win today and move on if that's the case. He's a short number in here. The 4 Sharpazano for Nolan Ramsey, taking over from Peter Miller. We haven't seen this horse since last January.
No, that's a bit concerning here, but watch out for these Ramsey Silks. They've been firing hot, especially this first weekend. Yeah,
tab the tote board here. You can see this horse being live. And hey, Tyler Gaffalione is back today, right?
Yes,
All
he
right.
is.
Welcome him back, the Hall of Famer Javier Castellano as well. In race number 3, we'll go 5 on the Tapeta here. It's a 12.5 3L, 3-year-olds and up. Now this is the clean race here. You are on. You mentioned Dr. Perry. A little bit of a rise in class off a good second last time.
Yeah, it was, but I feel like as far as a field like this goes, and there's not a big change, because now he's going from an open 8 to now a non-winners of 3-12. So it's almost maybe would actually play better for him than an open 8.
I agree. Yeah, you're probably right. This is a restricted race. It wasn't the case last time, and he ran very, very well. I'm taking a shot. We all know I'm hard-headed. I know. But okay, Jose Morelos is going to get on the 1 Warlord Cruzan. And, you know, I'm not saying bad job by Melvis Gonzalez. He wasn't a lot he could do last time. He was mired down inside the entire way. I'm hoping Jose, knows not to be on the inside, because if you watch this horse's races, he's had run in the race last time, in the race 3 back.
Yeah.
And he's just been in quicksand down on the inside. I want to see this horse looping, and I'll come to the party one more time with him.
All right. I think, I can't disagree with anything that you say, because you're right. And every time this replay is on, I always hear you from the outside of the office. Get
on
off
the inside,
the rail,
every single time.
Yep.
None of them will beat Zio Lorenzo if he runs his race,
Nope.
but I don't know. He's dropping in half off such a good run off the claim. Sultan the Great had won 4 in a row. I don't know, kind of a little odd, right?
Yeah, I don't really trust this horse at all.
No, at a short number too, with Edgard aboard for Steve K. So we'll see what we get today, but he's clearly the horse to beat. Race number 4 now. We'll go $170 on the Tapeta. These are 17.5 maiden claimers. The 2-year-olds go at it here. Scratch the 1 Risen Sun. Scratch the 4 Signal Caller out of this race. We'll have a field of 5. You've got the 6 Skull Honor on top. We can show you Skull Honor and Premiato. Signal Caller's going to be in here too, but he's obviously not playing today.
No, but I think Skull Honor is the one you want because you look at who won this race, Criollo.
He's in on Saturday, right?
No, he
Tomorrow?
won. Criollo won on Sunday.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah,
Okay.
you were right, but not at the same time. Criollo won again on Sunday against a short field, but Skull Honor ran really well here to pick up the pieces for second. This is the one that you want out of this race. Premiato made up some ground late, but Skull Honor, I feel like this is one you want.
I agree. He's going to be a short number in here, but Victor Barboza. How about Victor Barboza now? He did not have a good championship meet at all last year. He has started very strongly here. I'm on the newcomer. Not the newcomer. I'm the fresh new face here. I have no idea if Tempo Rye could do any running at all. He certainly has it in 2 starts, but maiden special weight on the dirt and then 50 maiden claimer on the Tapeta where Tank came back and ran well in the stakes. That group was so much better than this one. I don't know, maybe that wakes him up a little bit.
And blinkers go on.
And the blinkers go on. Scratches are not going to help any kind of price at all in any of these races. 4 down, 6 to go on a 10-race Thursday card. So we'll take a break here. When we come back, it's race number 5, Rainbow 6-time. Ronnie's got an updated ticket. 125 in your estimated jackpot. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Race number 5, and welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. Race number 5 kicks off the Rainbow 6. We're already up to 125 in the estimated jackpot. I promise you it'll blow way past that today. $80,000 is already in the carryover. I think it's going to be a pretty lucrative day here in terms of pool size.
Yeah.
Ronnie will be out here for the opener, but let's take a look at his ticket now. Big late scratch here in race 5 of the 4 Hub City. He's got that 43.20.
Yep, and in race number 6, he just goes 3 deep here, but I think he's got the 3 major players. The 1, No Mo Cookies, Sweet Coffee for Wesley Ward, certainly will be tough. Race 7, just 2 deep, Rock to Fame and Mr. Narcissistic. Race 8, Live to Ride and Agape Moo for Ignacio Correas. Good to see him in the entry box as we're underway in this championship meet. Race number 9. The Man Up Front, Test Factor, and Reminder for Jose D'Angelo. And in the finale, just 2 deep for him, his choice, and the number 9, Rag Tap Girl for a 43.20 play.
All right, let's get back into it now in this kickoff leg here as Ronnie just gave us a thumbs up from the set. He'll be out here shortly, bopping around, talking about signing autographs and things like that. Both on the same horse. Big late scratch, and of course Pete's upstairs. He'll give them to you, but Hub City kind of came out right before we got on the air. So Hub City at 7-5 out, and it probably means Bedrock Birdie now is 6 or 7-5 with that scratch.
Yeah. Did you scratch into Bedrock?
I did.
I did too, yeah. So the filly, one good thing about her is I think she needed a little bit of class relief, but she had been running really quite well in these tougher competition.
Yeah, no, and that was a 3-year-old race, and normally I would probably say it's not a class drop, but when you're going against a Turian who's so fast early on, this is a lesser group today. Jose D'Angelo is going to give Sammy Marin a leg up. The 1, Fulminate. Fulminate finds his fastball again, and I'm not sure she can anymore, but this is a big drop for her as well.
Yeah, it is, actually, and I think she's got more wins on the grass, but as of lately in her career, she's been a bit spotty now, second off the layoff. I think the Tapeta is a good move for her here.
I agree.
At least for the level.
Yeah, I agree. The rail's a little bit problematic. She's lost her speed a little bit too, which kind of worries me a little bit. Speaking of speed, it's good to see Murat Sankal and Ganesh back. This is a horse that has won here on the Tapeta, and you know she's gone on to some bigger races. She's going to like this group today.
Yeah, she will. Still, I think that the dirt races are. Yeah. I think she's a little bit better on the dirt than the Tapeta.
1 for 11 on the Tapeta. Late pick 5 kicks off with a strong maiden special weight here. The 2-year-old fillies will sprint 5 furlongs on the turf. The rails are at 31 feet. Now we've got the 2 money battle is out. The 15 and 16 Snitch Dorada and Cameo are out. I'm assuming the 14 is going to come out, but officially not yet. The 13 is in and will play today. That we do know. Late pick 5. We'll take a look at Samantha's ticket now.
Yep, and a good race to kick things off. But I am singling right off the bat. Yeah, race number 7. There's another single of Mr. Narcissistic. I'm just back on him today. Race 8, I do have the 5 on top. That is Live to Ride for Jeff Hiles. Race number 9, the 7 on top for me. That's Reminder for Jose D'Angelo. And in the finale, I think that Ragtap Girl finally on the dirt track is a big move up here.
If it's not today,
it's never.
I don't know when it will ever be or why it would ever be, for that matter, either. All right, let's kick it off here. Sweet Coffee is very likely. I know Irad's on the 5, but Sweet Coffee is supposed to be favored in here. If she's not, I would worry. Let's show you. This is a half sister to Coffee Maker, who we know so well. 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint for Wesley Ward, who's done good work. I'm glad you pulled this up too, because the one work on XBTV that I pulled up, she was rank as all heck. So this is a much more polished drill.
Yeah, it definitely was for sure. And she's on the inside now. She never is on her right lead, but the way she did just this whole work was so easy. They're not really asking her much. She's just kind of sitting on her now. Again, she is on her incorrect lead down the lane here. She just blows by. I mean, her workmate is no match for her at all. Look, she doesn't have to do much in order to beat this field.
The other problem for this group is, you look at firsters for Christophe Clement, and that's the 5 and that's the 10. What the heck do they want to do 5 furlongs on debut?
Right.
You got to think this is a starting off point, and we've seen it to our right here throughout the 4 days of the championship meet. You get to the front and you are gone.
Yeah, you're not coming back.
And I would assume Sweet Coffee, if she breaks, who's aboard here? Amicio?
Yeah.
She's going to be in front.
Exactly,
Okay, barring something unforeseen at the start. Now, from there, all bets are off. Who are you doing underneath here? The 7 High Breeze has got some experience for Graham, and I think blinkers on sprinting could be big for her.
Exactly, and if anything, the cutback is so significant here. The 2 turns this horse just didn't want any part of, to be honest, and I like the fact that Jorge Ruiz already rode her going 5.5. I understand maybe why the 2 turns was in her wheelhouse, because her debut, she was spotting the field, but she had an excuse at the start.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with Jorge Ruiz and the job he does, he's such a good turf rider. He put on a clinic with my horse on Sunday. Just never moved an inch off the rail, waited. It was opening like he knew it would, and right up the rail. He's a very, very good turf rider, and he's Graham's guy in Laurel, and you can see they're about 24% together. This is a big deal and a horse to pay attention to. The firster for Cassie's got a nice pedigree, Silver Flame. I don't like the post, but boy, the dam could run, albeit on the dirt.
Yeah, the post position is not ideal here, but I like the fact that they did have this horse at Churchill for a little bit.
Irad on the 5. That's one of 2 Clement firsters. American Surfer. Nice little pedigree. I think they probably want more ground, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Late pick 4 in race number 7. We'll go 5 on the Tapeta here. It's a starter. Optional claimer. These are 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 5, Heals the Soul. In the 8, Competitive Saints. Going to take some heat out of this race. Let's take a look at my late pick 4. $12 play. You're going to have 2 strong favorites here. I'm just going to use them both, and maybe Mr. Kelly offers a little more value. 4 deep in race 8 with the top pick, the 5, Live to Ride. I got a huge stat to show you about Jeff Hiles. In race number 9, my long shot. Speaking of Jorge Ruiz on the fence here, Iris's Dream on the 1 horse for Cheryl Weinbaugh. And in race number 10, I'm not going to try to beat Rack Tap Garrel, and if it isn't her, it could be anybody, and that's not the type of ticket I'm going to play here. So here you go for $12 with a very, very short priced anchor in the finale. But let's kick it off now here in race number 7. We're going to have 2 strong favorites, and certainly Mr. Narcissistic, the 6, will be much stronger than the 2, and that is Mr. Kelly, and rightfully so.
Yeah, and we'll show the race of Mr. Narcissistic. Right. This was, I believe, 2 starts back for Mr. Narcissistic. No, this is the most recent start. My bad. So there were some players here. Christensen will play in this party. Mr. Narcissistic, I think just the winds had run out for him in this race here. He labored down the lane a little bit. Tap Gold was just too good for Rohan that day. He had come off a huge win where he won by 5 lengths the time before that race. And I just think it kind of, he paid the price a little bit for it.
I think that's a good way to look at it. Maybe I'm being a little too hard on him because you see the 3 big, huge figures, and maybe he came back a little bit. I thought he was flat. I didn't really like it. But, hey, he's not in for a tag at least, and you don't have to worry about anything like that. So he'll be odds on now with the 2 scratches. But how about Mr. Kelly? Let's show him. How good did he run last time as well? Do we have that? No, I don't think we did. Sorry, he's going to win easy. There's not much to show. He just wins by pretty much half the stretch at 13-1. This is Cheryl Weinbaugh. I'm going to try to get her home twice today. She won. It was right before the championship meet started. This is a strong barn that comes down here every winter and wins races.
Yeah, they do, and at big prices too. Yeah. You just know how I feel about when they come back and win like that.
Crazy fast race. What are we going to get today? I don't know. The regression is quite possible, but he'll be a better price than Mr. Narcissistic, and I love what she's doing here. He's not in for a tag anymore, so clearly they at least like what they have. Great. Good to see Billy Torinos back in the entry box as well. Rock to Fame. This is a good horse to talk about real quickly because, last year we kind of picked up on this. The Woodbine horses, especially the Woodbine horses that haven't had a run here, they typically need a run. It's night and day difference up at Woodbine to what's going on over here on the Tapeta.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see it as they just kind of start to cycle in. But one thing about this horse that might be a small exception is this horse does have speed.
There's no doubt about it. He's probably going to have to wire this field from the inside. I like that Billy reaches for the apprentice, Mika Husbands, who's had such a good run of it. And if you're not familiar with Bill, he's going to win a lot of races here this winter. He's had a huge Woodbine season, even better than normally he does up there. So good to see him back. Race number 8, mile and 70 on the Tapeta. It's a $25,000 maiden claimer here. 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 2 Prince David and scratch the 7 Hard Scholar. We're both on the same horse, and that is Live to Ride, maiden special weight dropper for Jeff Hiles trying Tapeta.
Yeah, look, I don't want to say that this horse is really that fantastic of a horse, but against this field looks like the one to beat here. Brendan Walsh couldn't get anything out of this horse, and to be honest, he had no excuse when he was with Brendan, and Brendan's a top grass trainer. But now we're going to get Tyler back aboard. Tyler knows this horse already, and this just seems like a field that he can handle.
Yeah, I don't even know if it applies here, but I do want to mention we've seen a lot of Indiana races and horses come down here already, and none of them have run it. None of them have done any good, and the figures are all dressed up there. So food for thought, but this is a dropper. Look at the stat I found, too, here on Jeff Hiles, routing on the Tapeta. If you're not familiar with this barn, a solid Midwest, Churchill, Indiana kind of guy, look at the Tapeta here. This is right at Gulfstream.
Yeah, this is definitely a good sign here for a horse that hasn't tried the Tapeta at all.
No, so I think, he's bringing us a group down here that he feels can handle it, and this is one of them. Reggae Man is fine for Monica McGoey, but boy, the chances are adding up.
Oh, yeah, and this could be one that does just jump up. I added this horse in my ticket because this is one of those horses.
Yeah. What about the 6, Agape Moo for Nacho Correa? Is going to run a very live one in the Jerkins on Saturday going 2 miles. This is a different kind of horse. So.
Yeah, this is, and not a lot to write home about here.
I will say this. The Tapeta races at Turfway were both in maiden special weight races against, theoretically much, much better than this group is today. Right. So we'll see what we get. He's probably live, and I wouldn't want to play a real ticket without him, but it doesn't mean you have to pick him on top either. Race 9's a good one. It's a fun one on the turf. 7.5 furlong state bred optional claimer here for the 3-year-olds and up. The 2 Lord Knows is out of this spot, and you're going to go with the 7, and that is Reminder, who will likely be with Irad and Jose D'Angelo teaming up. A pretty short number in here.
I think so, but this is a horse that he usually leaves himself with a lot to do, especially in his last race. It was, we can show the replay here because I think that this is one that's going to, especially with IRAD aboard here today, will not have a trip like this. This was back on October 27th. For the Chief is going to be in this race as well on the rail, but who you really want to pay attention to is Reminder. This horse was so far behind the 8 ball early on, a day where the rails are at 52 feet. This is a running style that's not conducive to the rail setting like this, and there just wasn't much to do at all. Now we have IRAD, and I think he's going to be much more aggressive with this horse.
Well, he better be.
He's got to be.
Yeah, he better be, because he's not winning doing what he's trying to do in his
Right.
last few races. I thought in my notes that he was flat early, which I didn't like. I thought he
Yeah.
was very lethargic. Now, he did get floated way wide
Right.
on the far turn, and that certainly didn't help. But the horse that beat him for the Chief is 0 for 9 on the turf here. So
Yeah, but also
you
at
know.
a rail.
Yeah, you're right.
Right,
You're
yeah.
right. He saved a heck of a lot more
Yeah.
ground. I get. Unfortunately, you're taking a very short number
Extremely.
here on this horse. My long shot's in here. Iris's Dream. I don't know if they're going to bet him or not. Maybe he's going to be lower than this. I have no idea. His turf race here was awesome. I don't
Yeah.
know where it came from. It catapulted him into the Florida Derby. That didn't quite work out. But
Nope.
again, we're going to save ground. We're going to put blinkers on, and I like these connections too.
Yep, like you said, they're just they strike with some
Yeah.
nice winners. Blinkers go on today. I don't know where this horse is going to be as far as a running style wise,
Right.
but he's got to break running. At
Right.
least.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with your old buddy, the 5 Test Factor, and the
Yeah.
3, the man up front, because we know the 3 wants to go.
Yep.
Test Factor's coming out of sprint races. You got him home. I remember you were waiting for him to rout, and
Yeah.
he did it, and he won. This group's nothing like that group, but he's
No.
dangerous in here.
He could be. I think anything with speed, and
Yeah.
I don't really necessarily like the man up front by any means, but I think the fact that he brings speed, and is the same with Test Factor, they're horses you have to use even if you don't think that they're really that great.
Yeah, if you need Reminder in this race and you're kind of hedged to him, you're going to know after about a quarter of a mile
Yeah.
if you've got a shot or
Right,
not. Because if
exactly.
one of those 2 horses is freewheeling on the front end, you're going to have one heck of a problem
Yeah.
running them down. Hopefully you get a little pace heat. I need it as well with the 1. We'll wrap it up in the finale, race number 10 now. We'll go 7 furlongs on a fast main track. These are 12.5 maiden claimers for the fillies and mares. No scratches, but we'll let you know that Mia Nichols, 20-pound apprentice from Europe.
20 pound?
20-year-old apprentice from Europe
That would be light.
is going to, she's getting a big weight break. She's going to ride the 5 at 115, okay?
Yeah.
Mia Nichols on the 5 at 115, so take note of that. I'm not going to tell you Ragtap Girl's got to win, but Ragtap's Girl's got to win, doesn't she?
Yeah, you would think
Boy.
so. So we'll show the morning work just of how this horse handles the dirt. She handles it quite fine. Union Rags is 5% turf routes, but 14% dirt sprints. So I'm not doing the maths on that, but look, here she is. She handles the dirt just fine here. We'll see what she can. She's fit. She's got a bottom in her with these 2 turn races.
She's drawn perfectly. She meets absolutely nothing. And
Yep.
Safi, he says, Irad, you want to ride? He says, yep, I will. And she is going to be, what is she, 7-5 on the morning line. You know, she's going to be a very short number in here. From there, I do think, though, anything kind of sort of can go. His choice is going to get back to the main track for the first time, and for the first time in a while,
Yeah.
in 3 starts, but first time for Bruno Tessori.
Yeah, and I think that the 7 furlongs is going to play out well. The
Yeah.
5.5 on the Tapitas, just I wasn't cutting it. She was doing a bit too much on the front end to have a shot there, and maybe she'll get a little bit of a breather.
Well,
today.
you know what? She's got speed too, and when
yeah.
you're running against a group like this and you have speed, that's a big
Big time.
big deal. I've got the 8. Don't tell Amy for Eniel Cordero. I think all things considered, she ran pretty well
She
off
did.
what was a 13.5-month layoff. So she's supposed to be a little tighter. The problem is West Bank won the race, and when West Bank is winning races, it's probably significant that on a day I had to call a race, West Bank would win a race.
I know,
right?
isn't
Like,
that?
yeah,
I was hoping you would get to call that one.
yeah, that would have been phenomenal. That they all have to win sometime, and West Bank did put it together. So we'll golf clap to her to get it done. That's it. 10 of them for you here on a Thursday. Hey, we get to show you the standings in the
Yep.
lightning rounds for the first time at the championship meet. We're just getting going with 4 cards under our belt, and we got a lot of heavy hitters coming back today. Tyler and the Hall of Famer Javier Castellano. But here we go. Edgard off to a good start. Edmund Gonzalez parlaying that meet title at the Sunshine Meet to a good start too, huh?
Yeah, most definitely, and we'll see this change every which way as we get going here. But good to see these guys keep it on, keep it on.
And we got to give Jesus Rios another shout out.
Yeah.
He sweeps both Stallion Series races last Saturday, and he's got a Triple Crown contender with Rated by Merit. Pretty cool to see. One of the good guys that we get to see on a day in, day out basis all year long down here, and couldn't be happier for him. Trainer standings, let's take a quick look at that and see how it's kind of started. I mentioned Victor Barboza. He might have won 5 races all last championship meet. It's a good start for him.
Yeah, this is a very good start for him here, and I think he's got a bit more stock too, so I think that'll help.
Yeah, that's a good point too as well. He's off to a very live start. And of course, Safi is odds on to win this title once again.
Right.
The giveaway. This will be very, very popular on Saturday, correct?
Yeah, and tomorrow.
Oh, and tomorrow. That's right.
Well, wait, is tomorrow the
6th and the 7th.
Yes,
yeah.
okay. I'm kind of confused on what day it is. But the 2025 Gulfstream Park calendar, it'll be near the north and south elevators whenever you get into the track.
Yep.
And it's always exciting. It's got all the key dates of the championship meet in your calendar.
Yep, you got it. And one of those key dates, of course, I'm going to say the keyest date, if that's even a word, is Pegasus World Cup Day. And you can get those tickets, and you better do it quickly.
They sell out very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So make sure to get on top of that, as that is a banner weekend here that we have at Gulfstream
Yep.
Park.
We'll roll out the red carpet on Saturday, January 25th. Your best bet today?
Is my best bet today is the Wesley Ward horse.
Yeah,
Sweet
same
Coffee,
here.
yeah.
Okay, Sweet Coffee is supposed to be a short number in that race number 6. And how about your long shot? Oh, that's a little bit early on.
Early, yeah, with race number 2, Ben's Hero, with the 2 scratches, like you said, will probably be cut in half.
Cut in half. I'm on in the turf feature today, race number 9 to the 1, Iris's Dream. Down on the inside for Cheryl Weinbaugh and Jorge Ruiz. And Samantha and I are going to film a video real quickly when we cut this and send it upstairs to people. We want to remind everybody on Saturday, if you printed early in your DRF, we've got the Grade 1 Arabian race as the opener on Saturday. The pick 5 is going to kick off in race 2. The pick 4 is going to kick off in race 3. And we'll remind you that you're not going to be able to bet it in race 5. So look at these guys. These guys are on the ball here. Appreciate that, guys. Great stuff. Thank you so much. And we'll remind everybody, but if you're doing your homework early and that's great to see. Just take note of this, that the early pick 5 will begin in race 2 and the early pick 4 will begin in race 3 on that 11 race Saturday card, and we will give you plenty of reminders throughout. But Pete Aiello is upstairs as we kick off week 2 of the championship meet. Scratches and changes. We'll see you back here for the opener.